in 1918 and named Fort Knox in 1932. The installation there in Hardin County, Meade County, everywhere in between, is probably the world's most famous military base, more so known for the bullion depository. Well, I can save the United States government millions of dollars a year, do away with the fences, do away with the tanks, have our guest here today stand out front and say, come at me. You ain't getting past me. I'm the Steel Curtain. I'm a state champion wrestler. Sir, if you would, tell us who you are.
Anthony Bailey, class of 2008, state champion.
2008 heavyweight Kentucky high school state wrestling champion from Fort Knox. And a little bit of history about Fort Knox, wrestling that is. With that win, you became the third state wrestling champion from Fort Knox. And what's crazy is all three state champions from Fort Knox are heavyweights. 1990, Danny Davis. 1991, Danny Davis. And then 2008, you. So 3 state champions, 3 heavyweights, man. What's going on down there with the heavyweights at Fort Knox?
Oh, either we like to eat good or we just really strong. I'm not sure which one it is, but I'm a little bit of both.
Why not enjoy both, right? You know what I mean?
Yes,
why
sir,
not enjoy both? So, Anthony, man, we've been trying to get this lined up for a while. Reached out to you probably sometime in 2023. Hey, man, do you have your video? Would love to get with you. I've heard the story about your match. Love to have you on the channel. And at the time, you didn't. Then our good buddy Harrison Courtney, I don't know, probably a little bit more than a month ago as of this filming. This is May 26, 2024. He reached out and said he sent me a photo of the 2008 disc. And as soon as he sent it to me, I reached out to you, Jarvis Sealam, a couple other guys, because I know we wanted to get you on here. So, man, walk us through, how do you get into wrestling? What gets you into the sport, man?
Honestly, it was one of my best friends at the time, TJ Young. He's now the head coach at Kentucky Wesleyan.
Okay.
Yeah, he's at the time he's my best friend. He started wrestling, and he was like, "Man, you'll be good at this." I was like, "There's no way." Like, I didn't think about wrestling. All I knew was football at the time. That was my main focus, was football. He was like, "You'll be great at it." I've always been a hands-on type of person. I always grabbed and just put my hands on people. I used to hate that stuff. I didn't even know what wrestling was. Never seen it. Never knew nothing, honestly. And he invited me to come try out. Well, not really much tryouts because they made the team, but our team was very small. But he invited me, and ever since then, I just kind of just fell in love with the sport. Actually,
now, was you in high school then, middle school?
It was my sophomore year, and he was a junior, and I was a sophomore.
Okay. Now, being from Fort Knox, did you transfer into Kentucky? Was your family or somebody in the military, or how did it work?
Yeah, my pop's in the military. We was overseas in Germany before we came to Fort Knox. Like, we got here in maybe 2000. So I spent about 7 years in Germany. So the only sport I knew really was soccer and baseball.
I understand.
I didn't even know what football was really until I got here in 2000. I knew basketball. I didn't watch it, but yeah, you see a lot of soccer.
Yeah, no, I understand. And funny you should talk about moving. We done a review video where, of course, now we have the girls state wrestling championship, and we done a young lady from Fort Campbell, Kentucky. She come into Kentucky, I believe she said from Michigan, I believe, because she had been to 8 different Army top schools. In her dad is something in the Army, and I believe they come from Michigan to Kentucky, and she's only here for 1 year, and now her dad's getting transferred to somewhere in Florida, and she still got, I think she was a sophomore, so she still got a couple years of school left. And I told her name's Brooke Arbeck. I said, Brooke, if you win it in Florida, you got to get back with me, because just because you moved from Kentucky doesn't mean you're not a Kentucky wrestler. We want to keep up with as many people as we can, especially if you have to leave for, parent military service or whatever it is. So it was kind of cool to get her story, now to get yours, to transfer in, win it. So you said 2006. I've got your brackets, of course. 2006, you make it to the state tournament as a sophomore, but there's an old saying in combative sports: you either win or you learn. 2006 was a learning year. No harm with that. First year coming out, nothing to be ashamed of. 2007, as a junior, you get to the quarters, and we call this foreshadowing in the entertainment business, guys. In the quarters, you wrestle Billy Fuller from Campbell County in 2007. You win that by a 6-4 decision. Pay attention and remember that name. You get to the finals, you wrestle Matt Bird from Woodford County. Matt, was an absolute animal. I actually got to officiate his regional championship match in 2007, the heavyweight finals there in 2007 at the regions. So, but he wins. Matt, of course, is Woodford County. He wins the 7-4 decision. Now, let's kind of stop right there for a second. So you were in the finals your second year in. You come up a little bit short against Matt Bird, who at the time, and he still is, I've got him on Facebook. He's still a monster. I believe he can still go out and win it. Of course, you are too. I think both of you guys could go out right now and give a pretty good showing of yourself. But you make it to the finals. You come up, just a little bit short, but you've got one more swing at the plate, man. So in that off season, is it like a fire of I don't want to get beat, or I know I can do this now? Or walk us through that, because there's going to be a lot of people that watch this that are going to be in your shoes that may have been in the finals, got beat, placed, maybe didn't give their best showing. So what was it that got you over the hump, man?
Just hard work. I hate losing. I hate losing in every aspect of the sports, games, card games, video games, playing against my nephew. I'm not very good. I'm a sore loser. Let's put it that way. I don't take it very well. So I took it upon myself just to put in the extra work on, outside of practice, went hard in practice. I knew, kind of my do's and don'ts and what were my weak points, which was like my cardio. So I tried to work on my cardio as much as possible. I knew I was strong, but technique and cardio was things I was still learning as far as being my second year. Because my first year, honestly, I knew two moves. I knew bear hug and probably that's it. And I think I probably do another throw, but other than that, I didn't know I didn't shoot. I didn't do anything else. I knew about two moves. So I took it upon myself just to try to learn as much as possible about the game and what I actually liked and what I didn't like, but just not losing. I hated losing, especially when it's one-on-one. Like as a team, it's different. I ain't gonna say you can blame people, but certain things shut down or this person didn't do this. When it's one-on-one, it's all on you. And I had very good confidence on myself that, one-on-one, it's not many people. If I'm on my game, if I'm doing everything right, that's going to beat me.
Now, it looks like you've got, your favorite team's shirt, your hat. I see a banner, a sign. So what's it like being a Cincinnati Bengals fan, man?
I go up to Cincinnati just about every year wearing this exact same clothing just to see.
No, I get it, man. There's a lot of pride there, being a Pittsburgh Steeler fan. I knew I had to throw that little jab in at you because we got a lot of Northern Kentucky fans. There are a lot of Cincinnati fans that we have on the channel. So I know had to throw that little shot in there at you. But man, 2008. Of course, you're a heavyweight. You're a senior. One more chance to get on top of that podium. Let's go over your state tournament bracket here. The first round, you wrestle Jesse Childry from Bryan Station out of Lexington. You win that by a fall, 55 seconds. The second round, you're wrestling Joe Gromfeld from Dixie Heights. You win that by a fall, 1minute 5 seconds. Now, I was going to ask you about this one, man. You get to the quarters, it's Army on Army crime. You're wrestling Zach Reinstein from Fort Campbell. and you win a squeaker 3-2. Talk to us. What happened there?
Yeah, he was definitely my hardest match. He was just built different. He protected the shot. He didn't go for the throws. He didn't go for my if my I was shooting. He was sprawling good. I really couldn't get him on too many things. So I just had to throw everything out there and just hope for the best. And I remember I pulled it out at the very last. I think I might have got that point or 2 points probably the last 30 seconds of the match. And I know it was very close. And yeah, he was a great wrestler. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that was when I saw that, I was like, man, I got to make sure to ask him about that. Of course, Zach goes on to get 8th place that year. You get to the semis. You're wrestling James Payne from Iroquois out of Louisville. You win that by a 39-second fall, and James goes on to get 4th place. I love the name James Payne. That sounds like a professional wrestling person. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
I've
you
wrestled
get
him a few times that year actually.
yeah, James. I don't know if I know James. I don't know if he's still around the sport or not.
Yes, sir.
Still though, pretty cool name. You get to the finals, and like I said earlier in the video, remember this name, Billy Fuller of Campbell County. Now we're not going to tell you the result. We have the match video and we have the face off. So you're back in the finals. This is it. Win, lose, or draw. This is your last wrestling match for Fort Knox. When you win that semifinals, you're kind of hanging out. Do you go back to your hotel room there, or walk us through that after you win your semifinals? Because a lot of people have went back to the hotel rooms, gone out and eat, took a shower. Is that what you do, or?
I went back out. I think I went and got some leggings. I need some new leggings. And got some new one of those. I talked to my parents. Talked to my current coach and a previous coach that had moved out of there. Just try to give me pointers. I don't think I ate anything honestly. I just kind of just stayed how I was. Hydrated,
Yeah.
drilled myself over certain things and kind of what not to do and to dos and look out for this. Little I knew Billy the year before because I think we had went to a Campbellsville camp
Okay.
before. We didn't really wrestle each other, but I knew of him, so I knew how he was at least, or his stature and what he likes to do at least.
Yeah.
So just kind of um stay to myself, don't get out of characters, stick to my roots really. But
Yeah. And
yeah, it was an adventure.
of course, Campbell County, man, they have a great tradition. Coach Van Camper was there for over 30 years. They have heavyweight wise, they have Michael Ramsey 2001, Mason Frank 2012, probably the best overall wrestler in the history of Kentucky. Austin Myers, 4-time state champion, undefeated at 220. He was an absolute animal.
Hey,
So Campbell County, man, they have some really good upper weight wrestlers. They have really good lower weight wrestlers too. But Campbell County, man, they're one of Kentucky's powerhouse teams, and especially wrestling somebody the year before, you kind of know them, but like you said, you really can't. You don't know what they're setting on. You don't know what they've learned, what they've gotten better at, what they've kind of scouted you out doing. Because I can tell you, Coach Bancamper, man, at Campbell County, you give him a little bit of time and some footage, he can make a great game plan for anybody. It doesn't matter who it is. He can take one of his JV wrestlers and put them against somebody else's, state champion, state placer. They may end up losing, but he's going to give them a great fight just because Coach Bancamper can game plan. So, man, you're backstage, lights pumping, crowd crazy, back there on the practice mat. What's going through your head, man?
just don't do nothing out of character. Stay on my toes. Certain things, just little things I try to do. Stay on my feet. Stay on my balls. Don't be flat footed. Don't cross my feet.
Right.
Um, even just little things like, hey, if you go a body and he feel like he's stronger than you, get away from that. Just little things. And I've always I can pump myself up pretty well. some people used to be like, oh, you know, I just put myself up so much, I'll start tearing up, not because I'm, super mad or not. I just get so
Yeah.
anxious, I guess, or just ready to go. But it's just more or less going over certain feints and certain things that I can do, and how to counter, or or what to do, and honestly just hope for the best. Said a little prayer before I went out, and went out there and just had laid out on the mat.
Now, help me out with my Pittsburgh Steelers Super Bowl knowledge here. Didn't they win the Super Bowl in, was it '09? Is that the year?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then what was the closest year before that?
I think '07, pretty sure.
Okay, so that was the year that Jerome Bettis retired, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what I thought. So you got a chance to go out and be like Jerome Bettis, end on a high note, right?
Yes, that was the plan. Just not trying to get in like last year. This is a learning experience. Going in triple overtime, I believe, with Matt Bird it was, or
Yeah, something like that.
double overtime, pretty sure. But I didn't know the overtime rules at the time, so I kind of like quit once he
Yeah,
got his point. But yeah, just trying not to repeat last year. So
I
that was
got
the
you.
thing.
Well, man, we've talked enough about it. We're going to pull it up here. My typical tagline: you're seeing what we're seeing. We're at the Dungeon in Frankfurt. Best atmosphere the KHSAA ever produced was the wrestling state finals when it was at the Dungeon. Man, it was just a different feeling. It felt like this is a Mike Tyson era pay-per-view. This is a MMA professional wrestling style pay-per-view atmosphere. And if you didn't get to attend, I hate it for you. The videos are great, but they really don't do it justice, man. But we're going to pull it up. Let's go.
It really was a great place, though. I liked it there.
Oh, yeah. Here comes Billy. So you got the number 1 ranked wrestler, number 2 ranked wrestler coming out here.
The blonde hair.
I was going to say that bleach blonde hair, man. I love it. All right, now, right here from neutral, man, right out of the gate, you guys are familiar with each other. What are you looking for?
I'm just testing his strength, just seeing how, if he's stiff, he's nimble, how's he moving. I'm a very strong, aggressive person, so I always like to test up top first. So if I can get you up top, then I'll stay like that. If not, I'll shoot.
I got you. And if there's a skit or like a lapse in the video you're watching, guys, it's not your phone, it's not your service. We converted this over from a DVD that was in a locker from years ago. So we're just glad that we have it. And kids, we always didn't used to have everything digital. We had these things called DVDs and VHS tapes. So ask your parents about what a DVD and VHS tape is. So you're on top here, man. You're trying to pull that arm under. You get out to the side like you're trying for a tilt here.
I'm not gonna lie, but I wasn't the best at it. So I kind of gave it up. It was more or less trying to stay working.
So you laid him up right there. Get your one, or he gets his one, I should say.
I just felt like on feet I could take just about anybody down. Mm-hmm. So I'll give you the one, knowing I can take you down eventually. Yeah. Not how often, but eventually I could.
There it is. You shoot in again. Ain't no stopping that right there. Ain't no stopping that. You get another takedown. And that's something right there when you took him to the mat. That's something that kids today, I don't know if they just don't get or whatever, but that was a good hard takedown. You can do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, so end of the period, you're on bottom, you get up, you get away almost instantaneously. So I believe now the score is 5-1.
Yes, sir. I will say, when I'm down, my op always preach, just get up. Don't. I'm not trying no sweat. At least as a big guy, I'm not trying no fancy. I'm getting straight up, trying to get my
Yeah.
point and get out as soon as possible.
You talked earlier about playing football. Were you defensive line, offensive line, both?
I played defensive tackle, and we ran the wing T in on Fort Knox, so I played fullback. Um,
Okay.
I was running like a 4.7 40 at that time, so
That's what
I
I
was
was going to
pretty.
say. I don't think anybody want to try to tackle you.
So I was a little bit quick. I was decently quick, So that worked out as far as shooting, and my shots were. If you, as a big guy, if you can shoot at least here and there and throw them off instead of going straight to the clinch, then it helps a lot. Most big guys just lock up and don't shoot, or
Oh,
if they
yeah,
do shoot,
absolutely. I'm going to
or if
pull
they
something
don't.
up here real quick. I'm going to look at something. Got my phone pulled up. I'm going to check something out. The Now, of course, you get another takedown there, and I mean, I'm not trying to say anything bad about Billy here, but other than that escape you gave him right there, and then the first one, he really hasn't had any offense. So you got to feel good about your chances.
Yes, sir. I
That's
was
the end
feeling
of
pretty good.
the period.
Tries for a switch.
Yeah, and right there, man, that's a mistake. Especially somebody as strong and as heavy as you. You don't
Yeah, I'm
want to
not
get caught
saying
under them.
no, definitely not.
And
Definitely
there it
not.
is. I believe you get a fall right there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I love it. And that's where the video ends. So, man, watching it back, I'm sure, you've probably seen it a few times, but watching it back, does it play out as the way you remember it, like the actual match and scoring and all that?
Yeah, just without the emotions. The emotions was very high, very
Yeah.
high. I remember I had a lot of people coming up to me just trying to give me pointers, and um I said I talking to my current coach, old coaches, a coach from no school, who'd seen him wrestle, just trying to get all the insight I could. Uh, I was confident. I felt good. So I kind of just went out there and just laid it out and see wherever happens, happens.
Yeah, man. Excellent performance. For real. I mean, one of the great heavyweight performances. We've got a lot of heavyweights on the channel. Bruce Stepp, 1994, Joshua Campbell, 95, Ryan Putoff, 90. We have almost everybody from the 90s, some from the 80s, a lot from the 2000s, 20 teens. And man, what with the series, we have so many heavyweights on. You can see the progression of heavyweight wrestling, because heavyweight wrestling is different than just about every other weight. Like you said earlier, most people know one or two, three moves that maybe bear hug, half, and like a lock something on when they're on the bottom
Yeah,
and roll through, or like a fat man roll, whatever you want to call
yeah,
it,
for
turd
sure.
roll. And now, like with your era, you actually wrestled. You had technique and you actually wrestled instead of just hoping to land on top of somebody. So that's great to see. And now, we got some, like this past year, a two-time state champion Carter Gilliam from St. Xavier. He won it in 23 and 24. He wrestled the same guy from Madison Southern in the finals back-to-back years. Both matches were great, and it truly was. In 2023, Carter won on a stalling, which the other wrestler, he backed up probably 40 feet, is the right call, stalling. And then this year, the Carter caught him in what's called an assassin, and it could have went either way. Carter was down. Carter was coming in undefeated. I caught the other kid in an assassin, got the fall, but from and no offense to my friends in the 90s, but the technique for heavyweights, I love seeing it evolved, and I love getting your video on the channel so that way people can kind of see, all right, these guys in the mid 2000s, man, they could wrestle. You know what I mean? It wasn't just, like you said, hope for a good move and end up on top. No, you had to wrestle.
Yes, definitely. That was the thing. I've seen it, like I said, my sophomore year, I didn't know anything and I hope and just lay on him. Then I know he's not going to get up because, I'm 260 pounds, 200, but technique definitely has to be involved if you want to be a state champion somewhere along. You have to involve more technique and, and get, try some things, I tried a lot in practice from jab throws to outside to inside to doubles to singles, just, and whatever I felt comfortable with, I went with, or just practice more on. But, yeah, it was definitely a learning experience.
Oh, man, I get it. So we've covered a lot of ground, talked about a lot of things. Is there anything you'd like to add, say, take away, talk about how good the Philadelphia Eagles are? I mean, anything you'd like to say, man? It's your time to say whatever you'd like.
I just want to say I enjoyed wrestling. I'm glad my friend got me into it. I wish I would have started a whole lot earlier. I feel like I could have been a lot better than what I actually was. Maybe even a 2-time, 3-time state champion, but definitely I I loved it. I love the sport. Got me in the best shape I've ever been, just as far as like, working out and cardio wise. People don't understand how long 3 minutes really is.
Yeah.
Until you get on the mat and you start tussling with somebody for 3 minutes, even if you don't tussle the whole 3 minutes, it gets tiring. It's more than what you think. And at the time they had like bad stereotype of wrestling, like, oh, you're not gonna like it. It's two guys in these tights touching,
Yeah.
rubbing each other. I was like, but I don't know. I like one of the most manliest things to do, honestly. Imano, 1v1, and that's what I like. Like I said,
Yep.
one, and like I said, you gotta have that confidence that you versus somebody else. You gotta have that confidence that you win regardless. So you put
And
the work in.
the thing too about heavyweights is um, I'm not going to say all across the world, but just about in every piece of the civilized world, yeah, they might know who won the NBA Game 7, the World Series, Super Bowl, whatever, and that's great for all those other sports. But just about everybody that follows any type of sport, and even the people that don't, they know what it means to be the heavyweight boxing champion, the heavyweight UFC champion. The heavyweights always get the notoriety. And especially in Kentucky, we're not classed, we're not split public private, we're not split any of these. Being the heavyweight champion, man, that's a big accomplishment because there's only one, you know what I mean? And for 2008, man, it was you. So, Anthony, man, thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it. It's been a long time coming to get you on the channel. It was great that Harrison found that video and we was able to get this lined up. So thank you for doing it. I really appreciate it. Guys, thank you all for watching. We will see you guys and girls on the mats.